That's how the TERRA unit works on the front line near Bakhmut. Drone is blowing away. Zara landed. I see infantry. Damn, just not mines, not mines. Matrix M30. TERRA has this one as well, with a thermal imager. Enemy artillery exit spotted its attacks. Enemy artillery exit spotted. Is there an attack? Screenshot coordinates. Observing fire on our infantry. Saw attacks of enemy's artillery, determining coordinates. It was a guided missile that was flying on us. Our helicopters above me, ours or not. 2 grenade launchers. TERRA is ready for an assault. Penetrating ones. Crawlers. In theory, they could even crawl through. It adds distance to these positions. That's how the TERRA unit works on the front line near Bakhmut. Hits are heard very well. What is the distance to the enemy from this point? How far do you fly? To the enemy, we fly. You see, the principle of work is this. Drones don't fly too far away as we did in Kherson, for example, with Mavic 3, from 3 up to 8 kilometers. With the Matrix, we flew for 3 to 4 kilometers. Here everything is near. There is very strong electronic warfare, and there are only 4 kilometers to the enemy. Plus, there are great woods in the enemy direction. Their infantry groups are kind of penetrating crawlers. In theory, they even could crawl through. It adds distance to these positions. But this kind of war has its own risk, of course. Matrix M30. TERRA has this one as well, with a thermal imager. Did you work with it today? Do you work with a thermal imager weapon during daylight? Yes. You can see thermal signatures in the woods if there is a fire position or any other warmth. Our distances are not so long, so we can see it. What are you taking now? 30T. We have all the latest drones. We are not bad in orienting between them, where which one could be used. For example, Bakhmut's experience with previous battalion tactical groups has shown that their electronic warfare could see Matrix 300 and could defeat it. It became clear in Kherson that their electronic warfare could see them because TERRA's anti-aircraft missile system worked on them and hit them. Matrix 300 is a big drone, it is visible. 30 is a smaller one, it is not so visible. That's how it works. We are trying to work with the cheapest equipment because this game has its risks. There is some percentage of loss, so there is a result and a price for it. Person attention. Shot plus observing. There are 2 ways of working as drone operators. The first one, people watch movies about the American military. There is a guy in some headquarters in the Pentagon who sits in front of a big screen and has big glasses. He is just a specialist. He operates with a huge assault drone somewhere. Of course, no one sends this kind of operator to the front line. He could even be in civilian clothes. He is a narrow technical specialist. And everyone thinks that in this war they can be in more comfortable conditions too, and says to the infantry, you are infantry, we are not, and thinks in these categories. But our position in TERRA is a bit different. We believe that drone operators are the kind of infantry that can fight, know infantry tactics, and understand what's going on. They were just provided with a tool. You know, like an infantryman who took an additional course of adjustment and now can adjust. Took an additional course on drone control and now can fly with a drone. And because he got all those additional skills, he does more important work, more skilled work. But he is still the same soldier, the same infantryman. He carries weapons. Yes, of course, we carry fewer weapons, but anyway we are ready for infantry fight, and we always carry anti-tank weapons with us to each position. Anything could happen. I think this approach is more constructive and brings more results. I know that guys from the 131st Separate Reconnaissance Battalion have the same military approach, and they do it well. And those who do it as a civil hobby usually have more humble results. Shooting on EGS target according this coordinates. Are helicopters above me, ours or not? 31.25. Our infantry entering the first street. It's attack, attack. There are no more attack from there. We push them back. What kind of drone is it? Matrix 30T. And his name is Adam Jerzovic. Do you give them personal names? Of course. Well, sign. Each drone gets its own name with the first combat flight. Mayor Mespa died today. Mayor Mespa. He died for the second time. He's a hero. We have man. His call sign is Mespa. He is one of our biggest sponsors. He always buys Matrix 30 when something happens with it. And those drones are always called Mayor Mespa. The second time Mayor Mespa died during a combat mission. How they say live decently, died as a hero. What mission is now? Reconnaissance flight. Searching for infantry targets. Searching for enemies attack to accomplish counter-battery fight. We'll not say where. We'll be trying to find for work self-propelled artillery because, as I thought, as soon as the weather got better, the enemy took off their unmanned aerial vehicles and it became hard working with towed artillery. They risk facing counter-battery fire. If in Kherson we dominated in a counter-battery fight, we chased them, and they were afraid. Here, as I see, helicopters work. Aviation, in which direction do they work? Do you see them? Yes. In which direction do they work? Here, it released hit traps and flew left. On what did it work? It's aviation. The first one flew a bit left. Attack plane, yes. Released missiles. No hit traps. It's hit traps. And he shot here. There are hits in our landing. Can you see where the hit was? They shoot to the landing, but the clumping was very poor. Maybe somewhere there where explosions are. Do you see? No, it is smoke from the traps. No, it was either a hit or a trap. They fell here. Sorry, I see an attack. Determine the coordinates. Here's how it looks. Attack of Russian artillery. Yes, we looked for a while. There was the first one, and now they gave the second one. Determining coordinates. Do you determine it? Yes, we have already done it. We had previous working fire positions. Is it an old one? No. Coordinates determined. Yes, coordinates determined. Transferred to Abdul. Now Abdullah is contacting. Found 2 attacks, minimum 2 guns. In theory, the battery could be useful. They work with batteries sometimes. In the Kherson region, we taught them to not do that. But here, they still do. Hopefully, it will work here as well. There are flames and explosions will be in the air now. It's air defense working, protecting its artillery. Got it. It's him. Before the road. Somewhere here. It's good. Before the road. Yes, got it. It's good. That means it moves to where we need it. What do you do if the missile does not hit the target according to your coordinates? If everything is okay, everyone gives correct coordinates, but somehow it does not work, there is one good approach. It's called half of the adjustment. My recommendation to all drone operators for reading and in general be familiar with artillery terminology. Stop accepting it. Plus, and if it goes left, right, just say half of the adjustment or quarter, and then if the artilleryman listens to you, your adjustment step will be reduced 2 or 4 times. It helps often. Here is my advice. Here's a tip for you to use. Filming life hacks of TERRA unit. Life hacks for the winter season. Here is how we keep our batteries warm. A strong power bank, USB warmer, and blankets. That's pretty much it. If the temperature is too low, the next couple of batteries could be packed in an additional layer of special warmers that keep warm for up to 8 hours. We put it on the next one and it warms up a bit as well. When we take that one, we put it back. We used it a couple of times here in Bakhmut when we needed a drone to warm up the battery by itself. So basically, we figure out how to handle this. They even save batteries. Well, drones don't fly without them, so we have to have it all, everything here. 2 grenade launchers. TERRA is even ready to go assault. Tell me, what is the most dangerous situation you have been in? Anti-tank guided missiles, of course. A few days ago. Yes, death was guided. First of all, it was not the will of chance. It was a guided missile that was flying toward us. It had to hit us. I'm saying it as a specialist in this kind of weapon. And to be honest, it could hit us. There was just an error. When it flew toward us, he did not see our target. He saw only the headlamp on the back of the missile. It was just luck that it was only 3 meters. At a distance of 2.5 kilometers, how many is 3 meters? 1.8 kilometers. Anyway, it is a very small adjustment in missile control. Just luck. He could hit us. Well, but he did not hit. Fortunately, he did not. If leaders of Wagner find out that the operator did not hit TERRA unit, they'll shoot him. With a hammer, not with guns even. He missed another 2 targets, by the way. Here are adventures in Bakhmut. But why? Because we had to take a closer position. There was a mist, and to do the combat order, given observation of a certain point, we had to go there. We were told that it was a second line. But if we were attacked with anti-tank guided missiles, maybe it is not quite true. We took a breath. We reported about it in each chat and gave coordinates. We were told that we were shot 2 times. We knew that everyone who goes there knows about it. And on the recon unit 1 time also. And the next day, there was our hit vehicle at the same spot. Let me tell you this, a joke, I guess. I was an anti-tank guided missile operator myself in 2014. In 2015, I learned it. And that operator missed 3 times. 2 times are on us and once on brigade scouts. What does his commander say to him? Are you blind? Can't you hit the target? You have a perfect hiding spot and can't hit anyone. 2 kilometers. It's a great position for anti-tank guided missile. For example, from 4 kilometers you can't see that match. And here is a vehicle driving towards. Even though we told everyone. In each check, we gave information to everyone. Everyone knew. That's what I said about infantry and drone operators. Just don't comfortably drive up by car. Don't leave the vehicle. Of course it is comfortable when the car is near to you. Sometimes conditions are allowed to do this, but anyway you need to strive for efficiency, not for comfort. Those who are not squeamish, to go by foot, to wallow in the mud a bit, to talk to people on the positions, they achieve more results. Enemy artillery exit spotted attacks. Is it attack? Screenshot coordinates. Observing fire on our infantry. Saw attacks of enemy artillery determining coordinates. This landing behind it. Yes, yes, that's it. Rapid up and left from the cross. These are attack of the enemy's artillery, determining coordinates. Okay, Demet, look, you are working on that artillery. Let's. Okay, Abe. But only with coordination. And I knew that you should. We need to have observation equipment to give you coordinates. They are in a ravine. Enemy artillery is in the ravine. We start counter-battery work. We see them well. Let's suppress them at least. Try to aim on the point. Okay, let's go. Plus, coordination is the most important thing. That we looked and adjusted. Have you seen commanders who can efficiently use aerial reconnaissance and build a system of drone use? I have seen an efficient system of drone use. I don't think, I'm sure that it is the most efficient system in Ukraine. I have seen it in the 28th Brigade in the Kherson region when we were working together. There is Pan-Hero Mr. Surdin, a young and very talented artilleryman. They had a system of determining targets, processing, and decision-making about a hit. Self-propelled artillery has been making 5 shooting series every day. Adjusters have been working every day, and all the targets have been found immediately. The system of administering tools was built as well. It's very important. What chats, protocols of communication in those chats, who write and what way, and who joins them, without spam or chaos. And all of that was built based on aerial reconnaissance. 131st. It was a tricky thing because we worked with them. 131st. There were 2 teams who did successfully. We were under them at first. But then we asked them to put us under another commander. And they did it. But all of that was based on formal connections. 131st gave reconnaissance on planes, then fire position was detected, then drones took off, and targets were hit. It was very fast. Artillery worked fast, without any extra words and moves. Do you know how it works in construction? The world's first timekeeping made it possible to launch which movement takes how long and optimize, allowed to increase. The Gilbert family, if I remember correctly, were the first ones who did the timing of construction in the 60s in America. They figured out how much time was needed for each move. It increased the efficiency of bricklaying 32 times. It's possible when each team member knows exactly what he's doing. Now everyone knows how to brick. It is a set of correct moves. The same thing with artillery and reconnaissance. If you know the set of correct moves, you achieve the result. If someone does a shot once in 5 minutes, who will be waiting for you? Let's say the fire adjustment is 3 shots. The target has to stay still for 15 minutes and just wait for you. 1 shot is 3 minutes. Fire adjustment is 6 minutes, and after that everyone goes and hits. So that's why it is important to understand who does what. And this is what I saw in the 28th Brigade. Respect to the 28th Brigade. All respect. Greetings to Pan Sarmit, our favorite captain. One more thing. We began from this. When a senior commander, officer, and experienced artilleryman went with an aerial reconnaissance group to the front line, we connected him directly with artillery, and he was with us. He had maps, calculates, laptops, recording everything needed. We gave him a picture of a target, and he looked and adjusted it right from a trench. Because now, as far as I understand, there are headquarters between us and the artillery. They want to have a stream and picture. There are 4 layers between us and calculation and speed. I want to ask you about the so-called stream disease. I have something to say. A lot of people think that it is a real problem. A lot of people think that a stream is the main goal. The thing that aerial reconnaissance has to provide. That's why a lot of drones have never been used yet. But I know that the TERRA unit has a different idea about it, a very critical one. I would like to ask you what you think about streams from drones. Here is the thing. The first time when we were proposed to do it, it was a total disaster. It was in the Kherson region. The person who was supposed to integrate the stream system was sent to us. We looked at it, tried a few times. To be honest, we are grateful to that person. He taught us something new. Now we at least know how to do it. But it was not working. The 28th Brigade did not request it, thank God. They trusted us. You have to trust each other. Artilleryman has to trust the adjuster has to trust the artilleryman. It's a normal relationship that brings synergy and a result. Here in the Bakhmut region, the situation is a bit different. It's true. Even the order sounds like that. Sometimes fly there, give a picture. I mean, what I want to say is that a picture is not the final goal. The final goal is receiving certain data, or a hit, or data that leads to a hit. No matter what, our job is to hit the enemy. The stream could be there as a tool, if you have a possibility to provide it. For example, we have all the equipment to do that. We need to push a few buttons to provide it. But the thing is that a lot of people take it as a final goal. Providing a stream and just watching. Communication becomes like this. Abdullah, turn camera more on the left. Just imagine, the connection is a bit late, and I have to see a blast, and the quality they have is much lower than from a remote control. Left to right, zoom out, and sometimes we receive this order in a hysterical tone. Sort of, why are you turning the camera? The atmosphere has to be comfortable for everyone. We have no problem with providing a stream to a commander. Maybe it is useful for him, but again, it is not the final goal, as a lot of people think. You showed a stream, and the job is done. The work degrades this way. I know some people who are put on show streams. They sit there with remotes watching how a tank is driving. And they just don't care because their main goal is showing a stream. Maybe there is no one in front of that screen, or the picture is broken, or there is no connection. Or they watch another stream. The military systems have to be reliable. We build the system of the first reliability level. For example, we have coded digital radio connection. It's reliable, and we have it. Then we have GPS amplifiers. It's less reliable. If the GPS tower breaks, there will not be any signal. We have a Starlink, but it is not so simple. If we run somewhere, there will not be a connection. We have to bring it with us, and it is time. So transmission of the information through radio connection or some messenger, for example, is much easier than transmission of heavy data through a stream. Streams are more fragile. If the artilleryman can't see a picture, the fire will stop. The picture is broken. The fire will stop or will not be so fast. Everything has to be simpler. This is the approach that I try to teach here. First of all, it is polite communication. Second is trust. I can show them the video of our work later, and is common practice, to let them know that we gave correct coordinates. Stream is needed for assault operations, for example. When a commander has to see the full picture of a fight, what vehicles move where fire goes, there are no questions. We supported a few operations like that. Maybe it is efficient from a command point of view. They could make more reasonable decisions based on that. Armored group fires at enemy positions, see a tank.
Вижу танк.
See vehicles. Fifth zoom. Vehicles are working. Zara, wind. Are you losing it?
Теряешь?
Zara, drone is blown away. Cut it. Go lower. We are accompanying tanks and armored vehicles. Vehicles move closer to enemy positions. Are you fighting with the wind or you'll be blown away now? It's on them or it is the... It's the...
Уже к зеленке ты.
blades aren't. The blades are gonna distract me soon.
Будут скоро.
Try to turn it.
Вернуть. Чтобы над нами он висел.
Tanks are firing. Ukrainian army tank covers the retreat of the BMP shooting. Yes, just observing and providing a picture of some village is not so smart. Every takeoff is a risk of losing a drone. If we take off just for watching, we will lose more drones. It does not make sense. They are expensive. There is a system when a stream makes sense. I saw it in the 98th Battalion of Azov Territorial Defense. They were on duty in shifts with Mavic 3. It's not a very expensive kind of drone. They provided pictures from their position to the headquarters. Why? In order to have the picture immediately. But there I saw how people were getting tired. When you stand with the remote all the time, your attention is reduced. But that was a job. There was a second level of decision-making. We worked like that as well. For example, you have a stream. Operator said, I see some dust. Their pilot quickly took off with Matrix 30 and said it's not dust, it is a tank moving on a fire position. Coordinates passed to artillery. Working. So for us, stream is a tool of the first information level in order to avoid being in the air all time. For example, like today. Each flight is a risk. We lost one of our drones today because of their electronic countermeasure system. It was just pulled away. We've been trying to have a better position to have more correct coordinates. And we lost it. Here is a risk and the price for it. For how long are you working together as aerial reconnaissance operators? Since the first day of the war. February 24th, we got all together and started working. Our way in aerial reconnaissance began on the Kherson with the 28th Brigade. They taught us a lot, provided artillery with which we hit a lot of targets. 8 MSTVs were fired, 2 armored personnel carriers were fired. Armored fighting vehicle, yes. There was a tank. This is our own personal decision. We put a TGM man and a javelin man there and fired in the tank. We destroyed one truck with a direct paladin shot. Many BC warehouses were destroyed. And I don't know how many people. It does not count. How many targets overall were hit by your coordinates? Around 20. Yes, about that. If we count BC warehouses, around 20. A warehouse was hit by a tank. There were a lot of explosions and fire. However, around 15 of them were filmed. Yes, with explosions and everything. We hit infantry targets as well. But it is hard to tell what is supposed to happen when you hit blindage. If there are no weapons, there will not be any fire. How did it happen that you are together in the war?
Як так сталося, що взагалі ви разом потрапили на війну?
Friendship. How many years have you been friends? More than 15, I guess. It's hard to count. I guess from 2006. Pavlo and I have been friends since 2006 when the full escalated war started, February 24th. We called each other and decided to go somewhere. Have you been in the military before? The guys have. I had. In Azov. You were in Azov? In 2014 to 2015. Me too. And you were in Azov too. And when have you started to fly? I haven't. They have. I only organize. We had our first flights in the beginning of May, I guess. Bakhmut. Yes, it was Bakhmut in the beginning of March. We've been flying there. It was more of an amateur flight. On a regular basis, we have started to do it since April. In the Kherson region, we came there as recon unit and realized that the landscape allows us to fly instead of walk. You see more. We've started to fly every day and made reports for commanders. Then we met mortarmen. They offered to adjust them just for fun. So we started adjusting mortars. Then we made a diplomatic move. We came to another brigade and told them that we were allowed to adjust mortars. They asked how many shots we did. We told them 9. So they called and said, give the guys 18 tomorrow. And that's how we found brigade artillery between two brigades that were competing with each other in good way. We started to go on the position each day. There were only adjustments all day long. All summer. Every day without stopping. All of you guys have GoPros. Have you filmed a hit of your first target? Do you have it somewhere for history? Battery. We were lucky again. They did grad burst according to our coordinates. We hit a whole battery. The ammunition depot exploded so epically. After that, they started to trust us without any questions. They shoot using our adjustments. On the position, we see at least 2 turned barrels. If we shoot towards them, we will adjust artillery a bit. Observing flights towards the enemy's artillery zone. If they cover with a burst, it'll be 4 barrels. Here it comes. Observing the hit of the enemy's vehicle. 1 piece for sure. Burning. Enemy personnel running away, a bit on the left. Hit it, guys.
Хорошо.